broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
My hands are stuck like this.
How are they stuck, Joyce? How are they stuck?
They're stuck like the shocker. I should listen to my mama. Keep your fingers like this so you stay that way.
Oh, God. I hope your mom didn't tell you that.
No. She's an angel.
She is. She's an angel. What's up, guys? Welcome back to our Shameless After Show. As you can see, we have a beautiful, our wonderful guest with us, Shanola Hampton. Welcome.
Yay! So good to be back. I love the AFTERBUZZ.
We love you.
It's our favorite Shameless Sunday when you come and visit us every year.
I love when you say that. I came in, y'all were grubbing and stuff.
We were having family dinner. Phil finally made us his blue apron promise, and it was great. Thank you, Phil.
Delicious.
We have Phil on the couch this evening.
I wanted to gain perspective from the couch.
That's good.
Your dad had a lot of wisdom from the couch, so I'm going to bring a lot of wisdom from the couch.
Do you feel like the pressure's on?
Yes, because I'm manning the chat tonight, and so I feel a lot of pressure.
Yes, guys, we will be answering all of your questions and discussing everything with you on the live chat this evening. So keep sending us your comments. Shanola, where can they find you on Twitter if they want to chat with you?
Very difficult to find me. It's at Shanola Hampton.
Oh my gosh, how we remember.
I mean, it's not a real Shanola Hampton or any, no, just at Shanola Hampton.
And you were live tweeting tonight, right?
I was live tweeting with Emmy Rossum and the director of this episode, Pete.
Cool.
Who's one of our favorites. We love Pete Segal. And yeah, so it was really fun.
Nice.
Emmy called me out on being a germaphobe, because I am. She knows me so well. I mean, you have to think now we'll be going into our 7th season, so we know each other so well. We really are like a family, and she was talking about me doing that pool scene and the hotel room scene.
That probably
and my
grossed you out a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't as bad as a few seasons back where it was summertime and the pool that was in the backyard of the Gallagher house. That one had like film on the top that was just dirt, and we had to sit in there and do the scene. I was like, this is so nasty.
No thanks.
This one was much better.
So when you travel, do you bring candles and different things to hotels?
I do bring a you know, the travel Lysol is the best thing that ever happened to me. I have Lysol almost in every room of my house, and I Lysol my bed. My bed at home. So, of course, I'm going to bring it to Lysol hotel room. Candles, I usually bring just one. I don't bring a whole bunch, but just one candle because, you know, safety first.
You don't go as far as to bring the blue light?
I do not bring the blue light because then I would never stay. I would never stay anywhere if you bring out that blue light.
Right, you shouldn't be there anyway. No. We played a fun game with Steve when he was here. We were reading random tweets from his co-stars, and I picked one of yours, and it said, do not use the mixing spoon as the serving spoon. You're allowed to have 2 spoons. No, he didn't know it was yours.
He didn't?
And then when I said it was you, he said, oh, I should have thought of her.
Yeah, that's so, I mean, I don't understand why you cook, and then you go... and then put it back in there. Like, grab another spoon. Nobody wants your germ. Like, are you not thinking that I have to now eat your saliva?
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
it's just gross. Like, grab another spoon, and then you can get another one after. There's plenty of spoons to go around. that
person doesn't want to see that in a restaurant. Don't do it at your house.
Exactly. Oh, I can't stand that. It's a big pet peeve.
Thanks
for calling me out on that.
It was fun. It was a fun game. He wasn't very good at it, but it was fun for us. Episode was really fun today. A lot going on. I said it was not as... It's not as tough on me emotionally this week as last week.
Last week was hard. Yeah, last week was hard on me. Just the whole thing, and it was just awful. And seeing the blood on the hammer. I mean, we won't revisit that because this was much lighter. And I think that's what the show does well, especially people who have been fans of the show for a long time kind of see that we'll have a heavy episode. And then we still have meat in the episode that follows, but it's a little bit lighter. And it gives the fans and even us a little bit of a break from all the heaviness. But as usually what happens is when it goes towards the end of the season, we go to really like dark, heavy places, and so you have to go for the emotional ride. And episode, what is this, 7?
7.
Seven.
Yes.
So 6 was like that turning point to go into the next, and there's going to be a lot of reveals that now come up. There's a lot of things that are about to happen.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Me too.
We should brace ourselves, huh?
You really should. It's really exciting because we don't know until we get the script what's happening, even with our own characters. So some stuff I was like, do what now? What are we? What? It's going down. I think the fans are going to be really satisfied by the end of it, but still want a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think you always want to leave us wanting more. That way we're like so excited to come back. During those table reads, has there ever been a moment where you're like, oh man, I don't want my character to do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that hard for you?
Can you give us one of those moments too?
No.
No.
But there's definitely been, you become very protective of your character. And so certain things that the writers come up with, you have to then question them to justify it. So it makes sense that it makes sense for your character. After spending this much time with Veronica, and especially with my relationship with Veronica and Kev, I cherish their love, and I have there's a certain level of I want to make sure that they are protected as well, because not just as the person that acts as Veronica plays the role of Veronica, but even as a fan, I love this couple. And so when I got the script last season where Veronica was having trouble with the kids and all of that kind of stuff, that was a little bit tougher for me, but I understood it was justified. I understood that there's some women that have this struggle when they have kids, and then there's some things that happen. There have been some things that have happened and that will continue to happen that I'm like, does this make sense? And are we really gonna do this, and why? But then it does get justified, and then you make sense of it, and then you just do it.
It's good that it does,
do.
because that's what the audience tries to do. They try to justify everything that happens with these characters. And
well, we did for sure.
We
last
do it all the
season.
time, and we hear people in our comments all the time talking about like why what V did was right, or why what Lip did was wrong.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. Like everyone feels the need to like make sense of it all.
And that's really what's nice, is because that means that people are emotionally invested. And when people stop having those reactions to your show, it's probably time to get off the air.
Yeah.
And so that's really a nice feeling.
Do you like where V and Kev are now?
I love where they are now.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we have been blessed enough to be on a show for so many seasons that we got to see a relationship evolve in this way, because you started off and you thought that they were just this sexy love sex, did it everywhere, every place, and every how, and they were
in every costume,
and it was just about them, and that was really a cool and fun moment. And then as you grow older, even in real life, you start saying, because like I didn't want kids in real life when I was until way later on. And so you watched her change and be like, well, maybe I do want kids, and maybe I do want it for more than just Kev. And then you saw, once she decided she wanted kids, to really go for it and do the whole mommy thing, which you wouldn't have done. And then after having kids, not being able to adjust to not being that sexy dress-up couple anymore, and him being obsessed with the children and all of that. We got to see all of that, but then we also got to see a resolution. Now, the thing about it is not all relationships get resolved. I'm happy that V and Kev were able to resolve them, but just like in real life, when you are in a relationship, some things you can get past and you become stronger. I think that's the case in this. And some things you just break up.
Yeah,
It's true.
And
It's
so
very true.
I do love what they are right now, but you'll see.
I do too.
This season, there's still some more stuff to come for this season.
Oh no!
Well, I love that he tried to plan you a vacation today. I thought it was very sweet, and it was nice to see you guys get out of the bar for a little bit and try to go away. And then, in true Shameless fashion,
Of course.
it's not
It's Indiana.
typical trip. And right, it's Gary, Indiana.
Gary,
which
Indiana,
is
There's like some guy weekend at Burning.
Was that not the funniest? I actually, you know what's so funny about that? Because the actor actually sits there when you're shooting the scene. It became uncomfortable just the actor being there watching us, and I was like, "Hi, how are you? I'm Shanola. I'm just gonna be here. Oh gosh, this is so awkward."
I would love that role. Of the old guy that just sits stoically while watching a couple of
Pay
sex.
me whatever
That's like what he
for
auditioned
this
for.
extra role. Like, I'll do it.
I think that's hilarious. Yeah, that was a cute little vacation to see, and just to see you guys get some alone time. And then on the flip side, seeing your daughters being taken care of
Or not.
by Svetlana, or not. Right.
I think they're in good hands. Yeah. I think she knows what to do.
She's got
how
good
to
hands
handle it.
pulling out Tommy's teeth.
Tata Svetlana doesn't get much better than Isadora. Izzy is so good in that role, isn't she?
Yeah,
I love Svit. I love her.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's so good.
I couldn't handle the noise when she pulled his tooth out.
You cringe.
I was like,
you
oh,
literally like, no, not the noise. You were waiting for it. So you're like, I hope they don't do
I knew it was going to pop. But the best part was that you think she's going to give him the alcohol to sterilize his mouth, and she's like, let's throw me out. Yeah, she's
And
great.
he gets the pacifier.
Yeah.
So funny. Oh yeah, well the bar is good this week. There's some customers, there's some action going on. We don't see the hipsters much anymore. What do you think about that storyline with the hipsters and how the Alibi has changed over this season?
I think it's very telling of what happens in neighborhoods when the houses. When people have decided gentrification.
Yes.
That happens.
Fancy word for that.
And I think that it's nice that we've been able to at least show a hint of that happening, because that really does happen. And then the hometown bar is no longer that. And I thought it was really funny the way they played up people using the phone to like show the locals, like, look at where I am. Snapchat. I thought it was just so great for the times, because that's what you do. No, look at this. I was like a bar. Okay, no, smile. And it's a museum piece, but this is how these people live. So I think that that's been good, and it's been nice to see Kev and Veronica just be adult about running a business. I think that's been really something that's been a nice dynamic of them, because they're a family and they have kids now, and so it's it's serious for them to try to make money, but still doing it to where it's not so heavy, to where you lose some of the comedy.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the bar that you went into when you were checking out the others, the toilet bar with the
restaurant.
bathroom. Yeah,
With the poopy pissy drink.
Yeah.
That
was so
and the
random.
toilet paper. Me too. It was random. And it was so smoky that day in there from the when we were filming it. But when I looked at the martini glasses or whatever those darn glasses that look like for real poop, I was like, okay, this is nasty. This is nasty.
Number one and
I
two.
know it was in the number two.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a place like that actually popped up today.
I'm starting one. I love that.
I like it too.
I love it.
And you like
then
the
you
toilet
better
entrance.
do it. You better come.
You have to do the toilet entrance.
I will do it.
I love that. That's
And then
hilarious.
you have to, hire some refugee security guards.
No, absolutely.
Can you just call it
That's great.
WC? Isn't that like washing chamber
Wash
or whatever?
closet.
Wash closet.
Yeah.
Chamber.
Here's what I did like, though, in terms of Kev, the fact that he was able to turn around, whether or not he thought about it, but he just had that gift because I don't know about you guys, I was really worried that after that portion, right, the bathroom, because she says to her, there's no way to turn that around. And so I was like, oh, is this the end of the Alibi? And boom, we're right back to it.
Yeah. Kev has a great way of being he's such a people's person, and he's not always the brightest, but he can figure stuff out if you just let him have a minute, and he did that really well with turning the bar around. So yay, back to making some money.
Oh, speaking of making money, Carl.
Oh my goodness.
A little money.
My favorite story.
Maybe I'm in the wrong field of business. Maybe I need to do a Carl.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. Although the selling the guns to teachers was funny.
Oh, that was so funny.
Hilarious.
Especially when someone dropped their tray in the lunchroom and they all whipped out their guns. I lost it.
That's the best. That was so funny.
Yeah, so Carl is really upset this episode. Obviously, with what he saw last week, it's really taken a toll on him, and can't get it out of his mind. And he has that tough talk with Sean at the end, which I really loved seeing because I want him so badly to have some kind of father figure.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what that was for me this week. But what do you think about how he's gonna react? Because I guess my prediction was that he was kind of gonna turn away from that whole gangster look attitude, but he didn't. He turned a house into his crib and made it totally like...
I honestly didn't see this coming. I don't know what I expected. I thought he was going to turn around also, and like, you know how he kept saying, oh, Nick is going to help him out in the long run. He's going to be like a good influence. And I was like, in the worst way possible, Nick is finally going to be a good influence to Carl.
Well, right.
But he's going the complete... Well, he's not... Maybe not the opposite direction, but he's like going through the ultimate retail therapy and just splurging on things instead of helping, like, fix the water heater or fix the piping and stuff. It's just like, let's put a slide down the staircase. Like, and
I want one.
It's like I kind of want one too. And as I was looking at it, I said, "How did I not go down this damn slide when I was on set? I'm so mad at myself."
Yeah,
because I love fun
that
stuff.
Seems like so much fun.
But it's definitely a coping thing. You saw that throughout in what a lot of us do. And like you said, the retail therapy. He wasn't connected to anything that he was really doing. He was just doing it to try to see if that would put a bandage over a bullet wound. And clearly it has. And what I loved, like my favorite line that I think people should put on t-shirts is when Sean said, "You can always press the reset button."
Yeah.
And I think that that's so true in so many lives, especially young people who sometimes get caught up in a certain life, that they are not really those people. They just get so caught up, or they're going through that transition, that time, and you feel like you're stuck there. But when Sean said you can always press the reset button, because it wasn't enough that Veronica was like, "Son, you're not black. Like, let me. This was what makes you black. Oppression. That wasn't enough."
Which I loved.
And to turn him around, then all of a sudden he's quoting her like he's black. It's that moment of just subtle. You can press the reset button.
Right.
You
You don't have to do
this. And I think that will be a defining moment for him.
I wonder how much he's going to take that to heart, because now the responsibility is on him to make the decision to like start over and to start fresh and maybe do something better than what he's doing now. So like it'll be interesting to see how he takes that advice and if he's going to like, make it work for the better for himself and for his whole family.
I kind of think Dominique is going to end up being a good role model for him. You see her, he walks by, again, doesn't really say anything or holler at her, and she's like, "Hey," like,
oh, he was so sweet in that moment.
But then she kind of realized that something was actually going on with him, and she offered him her chips, and it was just a cute little moment that maybe that might be a good, good relationship or good influence for him in the future.
It was nice because it seemed like he was finally on a level where she can like reach him. Where she can finally like talk to him and get through to him. I mean, we obviously didn't see the rest of their conversation, but if there was a good time to bond, it's when Carl is down.
It doesn't have that bravado going on about playing that game, right? Which is all she really wanted to stop, cut that out. Let me know who you are.
Real.
That's Dominic.
Okay, Phil, you got any comments over there about Carl? I know you like that storyline.
No, here's like, I don't know why it took me, Shanola and I were joking about it, that sometimes boys are dumber. Maybe it took me a long time. Sometimes. It took me
sometimes.
But what I like about Shameless is the fact that, speaking about the Carl storyline, and you can bring it to any one of these, is we're so conditioned to, whether it's sitcom, everything kind of resolves in 22 minutes, and in an hour show, sometimes things resolved. And so that's why I think we're looking to those resolutions so fast, whereas Shameless, the Carl storyline really has been going on since the start of season 1, and the fact that it's still not resolved in that way is so interesting to me, because that is more like real life.
Yeah.
And so while we're also speculating of when he's actually going to still turn and be better, it's still just speculation. He could go on for 4 more seasons.
Yeah,
that's very
and be
true.
this ultra bad kid.
That's
Which
true.
would be a lot of what reality is. Because, you know, sometimes it could take one influence, but a lot of times it takes several influence. So maybe Sean plants the seed and then he gets to see someone. When you know, you can do better if you know it better.
Yeah.
And Carl, he doesn't have the father figure. He has Lip, but they haven't connected in that way. You know, Lip and Ian have that relationship. And so, and when you have the real younger sibling, it's hard to connect. So maybe, you know, other influences will come in outside of the home. I'm not trying to give anything away. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it's true. And every time he does get advice from, like, Fiona, I mean, if anytime Fiona gives any of her siblings advice, they call her a hypocrite. So,
because she is.
Yeah. But that's, like, going along with your point. Like, if he were to get that advice from Fiona or Debs or Lip or whoever, it's like, don't tell me what to do. Like, you fucked up so many times.
Yeah.
So hearing it from Sean, who in my eyes has, like, redeemed himself completely.
Oh, well, he hit the restart button.
Yeah, he hit that reset button. Yeah. So, like, I love, just like you, I loved seeing him in that scene. It was so nice.
Yeah, it was
so touching.
Here's what worries me, though, because, I mean, I used to, as a kid, like, you get $20, you're so excited, right? Imagine earning now, when you're a kid at that age and you're able to pay off for a house.
Yeah. How do you go from that to the going to Burger King?
Right.
Yeah, that's hard.
So, you know what I mean? He may be split, but at the end of the day, it's like, wow, I've never seen this amount of money in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could change a man.
I wouldn't mind having a duffel bag filled with money.
Can we talk about how he tried to give the parents Coke?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, thank you for bringing that up. He tried to be nice. It was
it was one of those
in his
sweet
way. It was
moments.
a nice thought, but
it's
for
Coke.
them, right?
I mean, he didn't present it as like, here, you guys are addicts, please.
Yeah,
it was like,
you can
look,
sell
just
it
use
and make
it.
some more money.
Yeah.
Although if I were the
sweet.
parent, I'd have been like, get out of here, take the Coke, but leave the money.
Which he did, so maybe they'll go use it. Maybe, hopefully they'll realize and take it, maybe. I don't know.
Do you guys think that Carl has, well, I guess it's kind of an obvious question, but I feel like he's kind of he feels guilt towards this whole situation.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if he didn't buy the bike for Nick, this wouldn't have happened.
I think more than guilt, I think he knew Nick, even though he was a man of few words, better than anyone. Mm-hmm. And because Nick opened up about the story about his father and why the bike was so important to him, I think that Carl that was a real brother to him. Mm-hmm. Like, not a brother, but like a brother. And he had found someone that was his road. And to see him go down when you know his heart is actually pure, and to make that choice, I think it was more that than I bought you the bike and that's why you died, because he got the bike because of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you feel like it was maybe like a betrayal for Carl in a way?
Yeah, I mean,
like he was wronged by Nick in a way.
I think he was more abandoned.
Yeah.
I think he feels more abandoned. Like, when you make a choice that affects me in this way so greatly, like you left me out here by myself, and you were my ace spoon coon.
Yeah.
You my roadie. And you didn't think about that when you got in the car and you just thought about that rage and seeing someone make that rage moment. And when you saw Nick sitting on that step, he's like, I already called the cop. You know, like it just all of that was just too heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
too much.
Poor Carl. Poor Nick. Poor everybody.
Mm-hmm. Poor guy. Poor beaten kid.
Poor family.
Poor
family. I was actually surprised to see a dad, because we only heard the mother when all of that was happening. So then the dad showed up, and it did make me think for a second, oh, is he going to show up again now in the season, or is there something more to why they're all of a sudden are both parents? But you know, that could have just been.
I want to know for sure who took the bike.
I know.
I don't know if you'll ever find.
I wish we would find out.
Yeah,
sooner than
the
later.
way that kid was riding the bike, it didn't seem like he was even in that neighborhood to take the bike.
No, he just was riding the bike.
Seemed like so you don't know the circumstances surrounding. Mm-hmm. But again, in real life, those things happen. People get killed over stepping on someone's white sneakers and all of these things that are random acts of violence that make no sense. And it's nice to see Shameless dip into that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah, well, we've always said it's the most realistic or relatable show on TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know how relatable it is with Queenie and Frank.
That's a whole other situation.
I'm sure there are people out there in their situation.
So I guess my hope is maybe you can't relate to this relationship. She's a good character.
Yeah,
Just
I like her.
She's really beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah,
oh,
she
she's
is.
so stunning.
Yeah, and it's fun to see Frank, he moved on from being the cancer concierge all of a sudden to now he's got another love interest. There's always like someone that comes around or comes back to Frank that he could just have a bunch of sex with and have fun with and then just like falls in love
Only
like
because
that.
he's being taken care of, which
That's
is something
exactly
he
right.
always wants from his kids, from like Bianca. She took care of him in a way.
Yeah.
Like she catered to him in a way, and like now here comes Queenie, who's like making him healthy things and like trying to be a hippie with her healing and like taking care of his grandchild and everything.
She maybe she doesn't even realize that she's kind of taking over the home because Fiona keeps making comments like, my name's on the deed, like I know I'm welcome here. Right, like get out of my house. But she's won over Debs because she's caring about her baby.
Yep.
Now Liam all of a sudden wants to stay with Debbie because they're doing things together, and she's making dinner for the family. All of a sudden, Fiona is on the outside again.
Yeah.
And clearly bugs her so much because she says she likes to be in the middle of everyone's shit.
Which I thought was a really great moment because you know how you have family members who really do like to be in everyone's shit? Like, I'm in everybody's life. I can run their lives better than they can. That's just the way it is. I don't know why. Just listen to me and then you'll be fine. But a lot of people can't admit that.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's part of Fiona's thing, it having to be like in control, and it's sort of what was laid upon her from her parents. But I thought it was just a really great moment that she was like, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I like. That's what I do.
It's all she
It makes me
knows.
feel alive,
And even though as of late no one's really been taking her advice or listening to her, it's still something that she craves and she needs to be doing.
Yeah.
But I like the way they kind of made it evolve because I before had said that I'd wanted her to move in with Sean.
Yes,
so
you
I
did.
like that. So I like that it kind of that she had that moment of saying I like being in this chaos, but then that she also realized, hey, I think I kind of like
She can finally
moving
do
in
her
here.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's how it's going to end up going, where she is kind of now on her own a little bit more and we see the family they're all kind of doing their own thing? Like, is that how the rest of the season goes, or?
I welcome it for a while. I'm
Me too.
okay seeing her in a different setting. Like, I want to see Fiona in a different lifestyle for a bit. I mean, I love her with Sean. I think they're great together, and I think he does want to take care of her and like help her change her life a little bit for the better. And I don't know, I'm open to seeing it because we've seen her role sort of repeat a little bit, like go from like guy to a different guy, then like that
Get engaged
messes
to
up.
said guy, get married to said guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this, like, she's still with a new guy, but a different lifestyle change for her would be fun to watch.
Yeah. What do you think, Phil? Guy's perspective.
The thing I get worried about is that she's legally responsible for the kids, and so it's one of those things that I would love to see for her to do this and not have to care about them, but and it's also one of those things like Frank's proven historically that he'll give up on them.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
she's gonna have to come back in one way, shape, or form, and whether or not it happens next episode, 2 episodes from now, the next season, it's to me it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I feel like that's always her battle, though. Like, she's always wanted to, like, go off. Like, when Jimmy Steve asked her to leave in the beginning with him, and then, like, when she got married to Gus, and like she's always had that conflict with her. Like, I need to stay with my brothers and sisters because I legally have to take care of them, but I also want this life. So,
But really,
It's
she's
gonna
only
continue.
down to Liam.
Yeah.
So Liam could go into because the other kids they're not adults by any means, but by 16, 15, and 16 in the choices that they're making, Deb's now having her own child and, Carl doing his thing. There's a responsibility there, but you can't control these kids anymore. So
Right.
Liam can kind of adapt to whatever life that she and Sean start together.
and Sean's welcome to Liam this whole time too. So it
Well,
wouldn't
'cause
be
he
a
doesn't
hard
have his own son
transition.
there either.
Yeah.
Well, we got that little glimpse of when his son was visiting and Liam there, and just a
Aw.
cute
Yeah,
little
cute.
family.
But
I
I
love
found out that anything can happen.
So many teases and kids,
I can't wait.
torture.
I'm gonna watch y'all as y'all watch it.
Right.
After every show. Oh my
we should Periscope our reactions.
I feel like most of our predictions this season have been terrible.
They're so bad.
Like this is one season where we haven't been right most of the season with what we think is coming up, which I like. It's fun.
It's kind of like reality TV in a way where you can't really predict what's going to happen next because it's, it's reality.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They always take it
better.
Except
right.
better.
Way better. Way better.
Do we have anyone commenting along with us? Any questions for...
We do. One of the things that came up is, will there be a V and Carl moment in the future like there was, you obviously spoke about it earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I think it won't be like that moment because Veronica, as you know, she's not a repetitive person. She doesn't repeat herself. When she says it, she means it, and that's it. We don't have to hold grudges. We don't have to do all that. I said it, I got in that ass, and now we're done. So there won't be any of those moments again. But you'll see some more moments where we all kind of come together. But yeah, no, she already said that. Tell them to replay. Press the reset button and play that again. Replay that.
There you go. And they, I mean, a lot of people just kind of commenting, so it's not necessarily questions, but
what do they say?
They liked Sean getting the lights out, and just the way he's evolved to that whole relationship, where Fiona was hesitant at first to let herself go especially because he had the slip up, and now that she is just trusting of him.
Yeah.
So people really like that a lot.
I think it's I thought that how do you make you're washing somebody's lights out of their head. Now, I've never had to be in this situation,
it was sweet.
It made it a sweet moment between and I was like, how did they do that? But Emmy and Dermot did. They really sold that, and the way her legs were up and she became the little girl, I thought was really
It was pretty sweet.
Nice. Good job, Emmy. My babe.
I mean,
she's
it didn't
so
take long for like her little peaceful night to be just a tiny bit chaotic.
Yeah.
I would be freaking out if I had lice in my hair. I would not be as calm as Emmy. I'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Do I have to shave my head?
Do you remember if you've been watching that? Like, lice is an ongoing thing each season, like pulling the lice out of this is not like the first season that the Gallaghers have lice. They've had lice since season one.
True.
Well, yeah, and
they
she
always
says
run around
we
some
have
lice. It's just a thing.
Right, and Fiona made a comment that they have a really good way of getting lice out of the house with their chemicals, and they want it out now. They don't want to wait a few weeks so that they can use the tree oil.
I'm not doing that tea tree thing. If my kids get lice, I'm sorry. The chemicals are coming out.
I want to know you guys' opinion on the whole free speech and Mein Kampf.
Oh god!
Because here's the speech that Frank gave
was awesome.
It was awesome, and you do sort of believe, okay, he should have right to free speech. Yeah. And then the button at the end of it, when he's reading that, you're like,
no, shut up, shut up.
Right, well, you made a really good comment while we were watching that as much as you want to hate Frank, you can't. Because it's real, like he's right.
Makes so much sense. And someone asked, like, how does a character like Frank, who is an alcoholic, how is he up on current events, and how does he have all of this knowledge? Just because someone is drunk doesn't make them stupid.
Yeah.
You have to understand, a lot of people, if you actually spoke to people who are alcoholics, they will sit down, and I've had this happen, and you'll be like, damn. You're smart. And Frank has a lot of awareness. He just chooses to participate in this world, in his life, the way he wants to do it, and not how others think he should. He chooses to participate and has comments about the government. So many of his rants in the bar have been like,
right.
They're on point. So much. I mean, I can't say he's always wrong with the things he says. Like, tonight was a perfect example. I couldn't help but think of, like, parallel what he was saying with, like, Trump, Like, he says all this stuff that people think is crazy, and, most of it is crazy and really offensive, but like Frank said, he's got the right to free speech, and
sometimes it makes sense, even if you're like, I don't want to...
Like, just because you don't want to hear it doesn't mean, doesn't mean it doesn't make sense.
My favorite line in the entire thing was when he called out the teacher wearing
His silly beanie.
His silly beanie. Because that was like, they were like, oh god, but
he schooled them,
right?
Pun intended.
Well, and it did end in a hilarious way when he is giving his book report and is completely wrong. I mean, just he was a great American leader, and Frank's like, oh god.
That's so funny.
Okay, and they had all of the parents there of the kids to listen. Did you see that?
Yes.
They must have that was his way of being able to give his book report. They must have they had to bring all the parents in to make sure that those kids didn't believe what he was saying or whatever. But that was.
Did you guys
fun.
notice Chucky's swastika is still like a foursquare?
Fiona drew it.
Well, he hasn't showered. I guess he was living outside and where.
Oh, they just keep drawing.
He's got to
every
shed
time.
skin. Like it's gotta go.
It's gotta come off at some point.
That's so
Now he
funny.
probably keeps drawing it in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the poor little Chucky. He has no idea what's going on.
His despair. He's so cute.
And they still keep calling him a retard.
I know.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about
Blue Apron?
Oh, go for it, Phil.
That's my Shameless
I am very full.
You are
Yes.
full.
We had our
As
wonderful
promised.
Valentine's dinner tonight.
Yay.
Thanks, Phil.
That's right. I
With 3
Better
women.
late than never.
Working.
You didn't partake.
Well, I
You
mean,
could've-
I said 3 women. I couldn't join in.
Is that not
because of
enough?
those. I mean, you wanted a 4th?
So feel free to check out the Instagram photos on your guys' Instagram. But yeah, we did the experiment. I got Blue Apron because we've been advertising it for you guys, and I cooked the 3 different meals for you guys, and you guys got to try it out, and you can too. 2 free meals. Go to blueapron.com/podcast. And what is it, if you're wondering and you're tuning in for the first time ever? Why? You should definitely listen to all the shows that we do here. But they send you food right to your house. It's all the ingredients you need along with the recipe, and you get to make it. It takes less than 40 minutes to make, and as someone who's gone through that process, I can speak to it firsthand.
And
So.
it was very good.
Yeah.
Yes, we
all
had
really
the
good.
chicken schnitzel,
Which was my fave.
My
Good.
favorite was
And
the
noodles?
the fish and the udon.
The cod.
Yeah, the cod and the udon. That was
Cod.
really good.
Oh, cod sounds delish.
That was a secret favorite of mine. So
Yeah, it was good.
The
Not so
potatoes were
secret
really
anymore.
tasty too. Potatoes that.
Yeah, it was all good. I was very impressed.
So
Thank you, Phil.
blueapron.com/podcast.
They're really, really good. You can pretend like you made an expensive meal for your SO when really it was free and it came to your doorstep.
It's actually a great date thing.
It is.
Yeah,
It's really
It is.
smart.
Especially when you get 2 free if it's your first date.
Yeah.
You get 2
If it
first
doesn't
dates.
work out, no problem.
No
Just invite
worries.
someone else.
No.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I wanna talk about Deb because
Oh boy.
Gosh. Only on Shameless.
right. So that is the perfect reaction because that's pretty much what our faces look like the entire
I was like, no,
episode. Deb is trying to come on to her, her little house mother, if we will,
Due
because
to the encouragement of her father.
well,
Yeah.
correct.
Well, yeah.
Which oh
So
god,
crude.
so
So crude.
it's all just so weird.
I just random. Who actually gives her the direction to do this stuff? And does she ever offset? Be like, what do I do here?
Yeah, well, of course. First of all, when you start reading it and you see that it's not, because we all expect, okay, she's going to maybe hook up with the husband. Not that it makes it right, but it's more of where you see these kind of stories going with the live-in nanny. And then the lady talks about her lesbian stuff and you read a little bit further. Say, what now? She went and cuddled with Deb. Do what now? It becomes only on Shameless. Has that been done on TV before? If someone could tweet right now, what other show did that? I would really be because that's the kind of stuff that happens. And so, of course, Emma, the actress, is sort of like,
Oh,
say
God.
what now?
She's like, oh my god, this is a
Yeah, so
whole
I
new
have to-
world.
and then what is this? You have to ask what does certain mean? She's not. She doesn't. I don't think. I know she hasn't experimented with any of that, so
Right.
she wouldn't know what that is. So yeah, there's definitely those moments where you have to ask questions. Hell, I would have to ask questions.
Right.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, I mean, she had the assistance of Carl.
Yeah.
That was funny that she
I
called
love
him to
that she-
ask
yeah.
what does she do? How does she reverse the instructions of all
The
this stuff?
shocker.
The shocker. Yeah, and so I guess her research was realistic on that computer.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but it was just so awkward. Even last episode when we were waiting for them to hook up then, because we definitely thought it was going to happen. And I was like, oh God, I don't know, this is just going to be really weird to watch. And then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then we got very close again today. Like, you see her start to take her pants off, and by the way, the mom's into it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the whole other thing.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Are you really gonna do this? Beat the hell out of her.
I also like how she kept emphasizing the fact that she thought that Debs was 18 this whole time. I wasn't like you at 18. I wasn't confident at 18. You know, at 18 years old,
they had
you
to
know
make
what
sure.
you want.
Because that really makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
When you have all those kids and your mom. Go sit down.
Yeah. right. I loved how they ended it though, with her just saying like,
I'm 15. I'm 15 now, my voice.
Yeah.
She's like, thank God, saved by the text.
I want to put in my resignation letter. That's what she says.
Great.
I like her fumbling with the teddy bear too.
Yeah.
Scene where she's like,
At least she got a sweet bonus and didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think if we got anything out of that storyline, it was that Debbie probably can take care of a kid. You know, there will be plenty of bumps along the way, but she will actually try.
Yeah.
And
I think Debbie's shown
to.
us that since she was a little girl, though.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
Take
She
care
was
of
like
all the
a
time.
mini, like she was. If you look back, even at the first season when it was just little Debbie with that voice and the pigtails. Oh, yummy! I love her so much. I remember as Kenny. She's my little baby girl. But she was very responsible, and when they were passing the money around, and like, Carl, you're gonna have to contribute. She always spoke like an adult.
Yeah.
So I think it's not an ideal situation, but of all the people in the family that can take care of kids, it would not be Fiona.
Right.
Yeah.
It would more be Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange because as the oldest sibling, you'd think Fiona would have the most experience or the most like instinctual draw towards like having a baby, which obviously she didn't want to do.
But she's also seen the most and dealt with the most. That would make her not want to have a child as well. So it's both. I mean, it's both.
Yeah.
I mean, can we get any more babies on this show?
That's what makes her so complex and cool.
If you can't tell, which you can't, because I'm sitting next to Shanola, and she's 7 months pregnant and looks 2 months
and
pregnant.
just as a disclaimer, Twitter world, so you don't send, no, Veronica's not pregnant, I'm pregnant. And just to add to that, for the inside scoop, and so we can pass this all around, Veronica was not pregnant because I was pregnant. It just was one of those crazy universe things that I'm so grateful for. That Shanola, me, as I talk about myself, and Veronica were pregnant at the same time. They did not write it because I was pregnant. Veronica, I would have had to walk around with a belly like Emma is doing for Debbie. And she was always going to have triplets, and then one was going to get eaten in the womb, and then she was going to end up having twins. So happened at that same time that I didn't have to do a prosthetic belly because I was really pregnant, but it was not because I was pregnant. So all of these comments that I'm getting, I wonder when they're going to do. Kevin, Veronica don't need another baby. Hell no, we don't. We don't. And believe me, that's the one giveaway that I'm going to give. That's the one spoiler. Veronica will not be pregnant. Okay?
Yay!
I cleared that up right here on AFTERBUZZ. Right here on AFTERBUZZ. Inside scoop.
Inside scoop. Only here at AFTERBUZZ.
Are you pregnant at all in this season?
No,
on the show?
I'm not going to be pregnant.
Shanola. No.
Oh,
like
yes.
shooting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause, she's 7
Second
months pregnant.
trimester.
Oh, wow.
But I choose to
that we
do fit.
watched-
Yes, I was about 4 months there.
So that's why they had you laying on your belly next to the pool? No. Just to show your nice boobs.
No, they were worried about me hanging on my belly, and they were like, "Can you actually lay on your belly there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do whatever. Pregnancy doesn't bother me. You want me to lay down? Let me lay down." They just really wanted that angle for whatever reason, but that's not right. Yeah, I won't be hiding behind counters. You won't see me staring here. You won't see watermelons. Like, don't make up stuff of how they're hiding my It's not. They're not. It just so happens that when I'm pregnant, I don't show until later on in my pregnancy.
I eat like that chicken schnitzel and some bread, and I look
I
like
love
you're 7 months pregnant.
It's true.
I'm dead serious. Oh my god!
I mean, they even had me in belly shirts while I was pregnant. Like, if you look at the episode before, and I came out and I had on like the half shirt, and I was asking the boys if they want mac and cheese.
I was wondering. I was
Girl,
like,
yeah, I was pregnant. And that's why it cracks me up when people like make up these stories about, oh, that's why they had. No, they didn't. No, I'm gonna be in a bikini. How about that? Or whatever that bathing suit was, the cutouts and all that. That wasn't the most comfortable, but okay, keep going.
No, it's good. I love the little inside scoop. And she's having a boy, because I'm sure you're wondering. And she's having trouble picking a name, so tweet your name suggestions. Yes. Maybe you'll get a really good one. And
Send me your suggestions. And you'll be the godfather.
If you choose one, give them credit.
Yeah. I'm going to make them the godparent.
Maybe Baby Carl.
Yeah. Baby Carl with braids.
Oh my gosh.
Or Carlita.
Pimp.
No, it'll be
Carlita.
a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy for sure.
Carlitos.
It's a boy for sure.
Okay, so let's dive back into it. We've still got a couple things to talk about, especially Lip.
Oh.
Poor little Lip. I love Lip, and I can tell that you love him and how he, or just you were cheering him on after his monologues today while we were watching.
Yeah.
Which I love seeing from that perspective and seeing from you as an actor.
Yeah, it was so good though.
It was great.
It was so good. You can't those moments and those eyes. It was just so real and Jeremy Allen White. Besides him being my best friend on the show, he is just that actor that can deliver that performance from take one. Yeah, he is that guy, and it was so you felt for him, even though this relationship was so not where he needs to be in life, but that pain and all of that just registered, and he just let it all out. And that screaming, it was, and you just all of our hearts broke for him. Yep. Not because we really want them to get back together, because she's married and then that's not really a situation.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of want them to get back.
You do?
I love them together too.
That relationship.
I like
it's freaky. Her husband sits over there on the couch and watches them get it on.
Weird. I didn't say it wasn't weird because it's extremely weird. But there's something about those two that when they are together and you forget about the husband, because they're having intellectual conversations, that it's the first girl that Lip has ever been able to talk, intelligently.
They're
with.
They're matched on all levels, like physical,
besides all the weird
sexual,
shit,
intellectual, besides
the
weird shit. Like I think we talked about this last week or before. Anyway, like this is the first woman where he feels like he's actually like on her level.
Yeah.
Well, and not all of our fans agree. Like they think like you that it's the weirdest thing.
I mean, I do love their connection. I don't think that when you're young and you're in your 20s that kind of involvement is something that is long lasting. Yeah. And I want the best for Lip. I want Lip to use his mind and his power and then be in healthy. I want everyone to be in healthy relationships, whatever that means.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the husband? Because we've gone back and forth here, all of us trying to figure it out.
Is he gay?
Yeah,
is he not gay? Yeah. Is he just a pervert?
Does he owe her this?
I don't know. He did something in his past. She has some shit on him. I don't know stuff on him. But
so
like
yeah,
something on him. But like it's a very weird thing, and it's just creepy. Anytime he comes in the room, it's creepy.
Are we gonna know more about this? About him?
No, I think we're done. She got in that car and that was it with her beautiful body.
No more beautiful Helene.
She's so beautiful. I mean, no, I'm not saying never, ever, ever, because you never know. But I think that it would be really hard to come back after the way that she drove off.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see the downward spiral of what happens to Lip after this kind of a heartbreak. Remember what happened with Karen? You know how when Lip falls, he falls hard. Yeah. He screamed out of Karen's window, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true.
And the only one that he didn't have this sort of reaction to was when
Amanda.
Not Amanda.
Mandy.
Oh, yeah. Like he kind of broke her heart, and then now his heart is broken again. But
yeah, that's very true.
Tables have turned.
Well, he came up with a pretty good alternative this episode, though. That Phil said you would have liked to be in the sorority house.
College
like that.
life, man. College life is
Phil,
the
you
shit.
Want to be a house
in
dad?
Shameless.
Busboy.
I would have loved that job in my day, but. But yeah, I mean, you definitely see his pain. I mean, he's not the first guy to get drunk and yell outside of a girl's house.
Oh, Phil. So sweet.
Right.
Take them some Blue Apron. You'll get them back.
But I mean, the interesting part for me was when he didn't let the girl in, because you could see so many times, at least in my mind that I remember from the past, he would have just invited that girl and he would have,
had sex with her and forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would have been meaningless. I'm not saying he would have started a relationship, but he would have done that. Mm-hmm. And you could say, oh, he was asleep, he wasn't waking up, but then his eyes opened up and he just didn't
feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely was a moment of, okay, I get it. He's
really hurting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad they're breaking that pattern with Lit though.
Yeah.
It's like
nice different.
He's finally going through this like seriously.
I just hope it doesn't affect his school in the long run. I still want to see him graduate.
Well, he wants to stay, obviously. I mean, he's I'm sure he's devastated to an extent that he can't stay in his dorm, and we saw him try really hard last year to pay like his tuition and everything. So he still definitely wants to stay, but like this is not working for him right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. All we can do, just gotta wait.
Dun dun dun.
Why must you tease us?
So much good.
Well, I hope that a lot happens with Ian and Caleb.
Ooh, you're gonna get in trouble for that.
Their story.
Let me tell you.
Today.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, don't say that because people
go
got
on your little rant, Shanola.
Okay, here's the thing about it. And I'll say this very, very quickly. No one shipped Galovich more than I did. I loved Mickey and Ian together. I loved them. But as in any relationship, some last, some don't. They were very young in love. They went through. You get to see now a different sort of relationship with Ian, which I think is cool to see. Even if he gets back with Mickey, it'll be something that he can bring back to that relationship to show a different kind. You heard him say he's never been on a date. He and Mickey never had that kind of love. It was a love I was rooting for, and I loved them kissing in public and when it all came together, but it was a love for that time period, and people still get very upset. But as if it's my fault that Mickey and Ian broke up.
How dare
and I put him with Caleb. I didn't do that. I promise you, I had nothing to do with their breakup. But I do think that when you're young, especially when you're young and in your 20s, you need to experience different kinds of love, even if you come back together. It's different. People will then say, well, Kevin and Veronica, she didn't even want her baby. Yeah, they're grown-ass people who are married and they work through stuff and they found a resolution. It doesn't mean that it's forever. It just means it's for now. And please stop with the hate tweets. I can't do it anymore. I really, really can't. I loved them together. I can't say that enough. I loved Mickey and Ian, but it's over for now.
Yeah, everyone needs to move on.
Yeah.
Here's what I did like about tonight's storyline, because you could see it going the typical route of, okay, Caleb's going to be the one to teach him and kind of make Ian grow, but the fact that at that wedding it reversed, and this was a time where Ian was like, okay, I got this. I know where you're coming from. Let me do my thing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Do you still think he's going to go the route of being an EMT, getting into the firehouse?
I feel like he's going to try.
That was a big old smile. That was a big old smile.
What does it mean? No,
that would be great. I would love that for him, right? For Ian.
I want to see him try. I want to see him try because I feel like this relationship, it's new and it's exciting for Ian, and being someone who has like his lows and highs and stuff, like this is going to be something to look forward to, and it's exciting. I feel like maybe for him, being with Mickey kind of got old at the end for him, which is,
they outgrew each other.
They outgrew each other. So this is something that's super exciting, and he'll probably do anything to maintain it, which is become an EMT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, the way he responded when he went to the call with them the last time we saw it, I just think, he just like got, I feel like he feels like, yes, that's what he's meant to do, and he can be successful there.
Yeah.
So I hope so.
Well, is there anything else that you can, give us some insight on before we leave?
I can predict one thing.
Yes, please.
Okay, so here it is. There are going to be some changes on some Shameless and some twists and turns.
Could you be any more vague?
Oh, I'm just so excited for you to see.
Well, we're going to tweet tweet at you next week when we see some
You better.
stuff
I don't know what, I can't remember exactly that, but just know by the end of the season, you'll be like, Shanola, what the hell?
Oh, that's exciting.
I can't wait.
Well, we thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I always love being
We
here.
love having you. It's so fun, and the fans love you and love having you on. So thank you.
Love your energy. It's so infectious.
And again, your Twitter, which is very hard to remember, is
At Shanola Hampton, and I love you fans so much. Thank you for all of this entire six seasons.
that's amazing.
It's been a good 6 months.
Six more.
Crazy ride.
Well, let's not get
Okay, well, however many you want.
Whenever the fans say, get the hell up out, we'll bow out gracefully.
Joyce, where can they find you on social media?
Thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at JJ Ajouri. I've got some snaps of all of us here with Shanola, so check that out, and we'll see you next week.
JJ.
And I'm at JJ Jurgens on Twitter and JJ.Jurgens on Instagram.
Phil on the couch.
And for those of you watching and commenting live, I want you to feel validated. Someone really loved season 4, so I want to shout that out. And also, Shanola, real fast. Would you want Jimmy back? Jimmy, Steve, whatever we're calling him.
I would, every single cast that has ever left our show, I would want all of them back. We are a family. Y'all are obsessed with them. We're obsessed with each other. We're a family. So every single cast member, Jimmy, Steve, Mickey, Sheila, Mandy, every single one. I want them all back, okay? I really do. I love them.
I want Sheila back.
Yes.
So bad.
So follow AFTERBUZZ TV.
AfterBuzz TV, and you guys can find me at Hayley Clover on Twitter and Instagram. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and keep commenting. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.